the first time I had an injection in my neck, and they fucked up and they punctured my spinal column.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so you're supposed to just do like a cortisone shot. They went too far. I remember I was laying face down on like a massage table.
Yeah.
And the doctor stepped up and he was kind of like touching my neck, and he was like, okay, we're going to inject here. And then I watched his feet disappear and a new pair of feet go in, and I'm sure it was like a resident or a kid.
Sure.
At the time, I was probably like 24. They're probably thinking he's got back problems, but he's young. We'll let we can
fine.
experiment. This guy goes too far, punctures, I think what they call the spinal dura, which is like the around your spinal cord. And then spinal fluid starts leaking out. And so you have fluid in your brain.
Yeah.
In your skull that kind of keeps like your brain intact.
Right.
And that started to leak out. And so your brain starts to sag.
What
like
the
your
fuck?
brain is kind of attached to the skull.
Well,
and it's
this happened to
floating.
you?
Yes. So your brain is in your skull,
Did
and
you
there's
know this?
fluid around it. And then it starts to sag, and it's like kind of pulling down on. And
It makes sense.
And it like, all of a sudden, I was like, what?
Did you feel?
I remember walking back home from the injection, got off the elevator, and as I was walking down the hallway to my apartment door, I was like, what? Like pinballing. And I was like, this isn't good.
I assume it's regenerative?
Yeah, but then I Googled it. I was like, intense headaches, blindness, dizzy, nausea, all that. And they said, like, did you just get injections? And they said, flip upside down, and the sagging will stop.
Okay.
And
the
symptoms
do like a cartwheel?
Well, no, so I laid on the bed,
Feels
like
like a
head
really,
over
simple thing.
like I'm watching
Sure,
porn.
sure,
you know,
yeah.
head over the bed.
I know the image.
yeah,
It was
got
the
it,
first
got
thing
it.
that went through my mind. I was like,
Okay.
as I'm doing it, I'm like, wah, 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 wah. But they were like, if the symptoms stop, like, that's what's going on. And
Yeah.
the symptoms went away like immediately. And then I sat up and they would come back.
Oh.
Oh my
And
God,
so,
that's crazy.
That was probably the first time I felt.
Well, how long did it last like that? Was your brain like sagging on
A
your...
few days. Like you could
on the
like
bottom
go
of
get
your
like
skull?
yeah, basically they were like you can go get like a patch that like almost like a little like
Did it
mini
hurt
surgery.
like your eyeballs? Like pull your eye?
The
your
whole
eyes are
fucking
stuck?
thing felt like my head was just
What
going to
the
explode.
fuck? And they didn't tell you like, hey, you might feel like your brain is...
Well, it was
the gravity
they
is
didn't
pulling
know.
your brain.
Once I called them, they were like, "Oh, we probably punctured your spinal cord," but
Holy
it's not like
shit.
it's not
I don't know how
supposed
I
to
missed
happen.
the story of your life.
But-
wow.
Did you get like money back or anything?
That's insane.
so.
Do you sue for a
I
situation
guess
like this?
I mean, I probably could have, but I'm not. I
That
don't know.
feels traumatic.
But
I feel
anyway,
like if
my
brain started sagging onto the bottom of my skull, I'd make a pretty big fucking
Yeah,
deal
like,
about
no,
it.
I just slept upside down every night.
I
since.
guess. Well,
Well,
that's,
you know what
there
was
we
really
go.
funny
Let's
was
Let's do this now.
at,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at the time, Caitlin had friends from Holy Cross into town, and we are like early mid-20s. We're still like fucking partying, you know. So we've got a full house in our like one-bedroom apartment.
Of course.
I'm obviously not going out or anything, but I was like, yeah, go have fun, like whatever. You know, sitting there like laying upside down for 12 hours. They're out like having a day, and one of her friends, they all come home. Everyone's like passed out drunk, and this guy gets up to go to the bathroom.
No.
And he's all like disoriented, blacked out, doesn't know what room he's in, what apartment he's in, stumbles around trying to find the bathroom, eventually falls through my glass coffee table. Like, and I'm in bed,
Oh my
and I hear
God.
him, everyone's passed the fuck out drunk.
Yeah.
But I hear something going on, and again, I'm like upside down, like, what the fuck is going on? And then I hear like, kaboom, like glass shatters, Stone Cold style. And I go out front, and this guy is like in the wooden
No,
frame,
no,
glass shattered, just like bleeding.
Bleeding everywhere. Yeah,
And
I forgot
I think
about
we had
Duncan.
opened up the door, and he came out into the hallway of the apartment. So we're playing like in the hallway late night, and I was laying on the ground, I'm playing with the puppy, and I put my arm over my head, kind of like this.
No.
And I must have just been drunk enough that I didn't feel it come out of the socket.
Oh,
and so then I sit up, and it's out. And it's like, if you've ever had a dislocated shoulder when it's just like stuck out, it's just the worst. And at that point, I had reached a level where I could put my arm against my leg, and I would push against it, and I could just pull and like pop it in, and it just wasn't going in. And I had to call, like, I guess 911. I don't know who we called.
Right.
And I mean, we were hammered drunk. And
Well,
I
that's
just had to be
always
like,
how it
my
happens.
shoulder's dislocated.
That's always how it
Caitlin's like,
happens.
blah, blah, blah. And they were just
She's like,
this
"Figure it out."
fucking guy. I think they just kind of did like a quick pop.